Chapter 1 of Uncle Wiggily's Storybook. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit Librivox.org. Uncle Wiggily's Storybook by Howard R. Garis. Chapter 1. Uncle Wiggily's Greeting. Dear children, this is quite a different book from any others you may have read about me. In this volume, I have some adventures with real children like yourselves, as well as with my animal friends. These stories tell of the joyous, funny, exciting, and everyday adventures that happen to you girls and boys. There is the story about a toothache, which you may read, or have read to you, when you want to forget the pain. There is a story of a good boy and a freckled girl, and there is the story about a bad boy, but not everyone is allowed to read that. There is a story for nearly every occasion in the life of a little boy or girl, about the joys of Christmas, of a birthday, of different animals, about getting lost, and one about falling in a mud puddle. And there are stories about having the measles and mumps, and getting over them. I hope you will like this book, as well as you seem to have cared for the other volumes about me. And you will find some beautiful pictures in this book. Now, as Nurse Jane is calling me, I shall have to hop along. But I hope you will enjoy these stories. Your friend, Uncle Wiggily Longears. Uncle Wiggily's Storybook. Story 1. Uncle Wiggily's Toothache. Once upon a time there was a boy who had the toothache. It was not a very large tooth that pained him, and really it was quite surprising how such a very large ache got into such a small tooth. At least that is what the boy thought. "But I'm not going to the dentist and let him pull it," cried the boy, holding his hand over his mouth. "And I'm not going to let anybody in this house pull it either, so there." He ran and hid himself in a corner. Girls aren't that way when they have a toothache. Only boys. "Perhaps the tooth will not need pulling," said Mother, as she looked at the boy and saw how much pain he had. "That's so!" exclaimed Grandma, who was trying to think of some way in which to help the boy. "Maybe the dentist can make a little hole in your tooth, Sonny, and fill the hole with cement, as the man filled the hole in our sidewalk, and then all your pain will stop." "No, I'm not going to the dentist. I'm not going, I tell you," cried Sonny. And I think he stamped his foot on the floor, the least little bit. It may have been that he saw a tack sticking up and wanted to hammer it down with his shoe. But I'm afraid it was a stamp of his foot, and afterward that boy was sorry. But anyhow, his tooth kept on aching, and it was the kind called jumping, for it was worse at one time than another. Sometimes the boy thought the pain jumped from one side of his tongue to the other side, and again it seemed that it leaped away from the roof of his mouth. The toothache even seemed to turn somersaults and pepper salts, and once it appeared to jump over backward, but it never completely jumped away, which is what the boy wished it would do. "You'd better let me take you to the dentist's," said his mother. "He'll either fix the tooth so it won't ache any more, or he'll take it out, so a new tooth will grow in. And really, the pain the dentist may cause will only be a little one, and it will be all over in a moment, while your tooth may ache all night." "No, I'm not going to the dentist. I'm not going," cried Sonny Boy. And then again, he acted just as if there were a tack in the carpet that needed hammering down with his foot. Now it was about this time that Uncle Wiggily Longears, the bunny rabbit gentleman, was hopping from his hollow stump bungalow in the woods to go look for an adventure. But as yet, Uncle Wiggily knew nothing about the boy with the toothache. That came a little later. "Are you going to be gone long?" asked Nurse Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy, the muskrat lady housekeeper of the bunny gentleman. "Only just long enough to have a nice adventure," answered Mr. Longears, and away he hopped, on his red, white, and blue striped rheumatism crutch, with his pink, twinkling nose held in front of him, like the headlight of a choo-choo train. Now, as it happened, Uncle Wiggily's hollow stump bungalow was not far from the house where the toothache boy lived, though the boy had never seen the rabbit's home. He had often wandered into the woods, almost in front of the bunny's
Sample complete. Ready to continue?